Do I have any idea what I'm doing? Absolutely not. Okay. This is... Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's see. How do I do this? This is me in my usual setting. I'm gonna get on Lucas Go. Oh my goodness. All right. Is anybody else? I know there's nobody here. I'm talking to myself. I missed the days when my computer had multiple ports and other things. Drives. I don't remember drives. I hear my dog chirping in the distance. What's that? What are you telling me to swipe? Okay. Hello! There are 2 of you here. Is this working? I honestly don't know. Callie cosplay and Stilmer Emily, who I'm assuming you may know, should be joining us shortly. And otherwise, what is up? Has everybody watched Rings of Power? Is everyone caught up? Did we all binge watch the show last night or early this morning, depending on your time zone? I wonder if you guys are gonna start hearing my dog. I have 2, but only one of them likes to make noise. I hear him in the living room because I didn't explicitly say I'm going into the other room. So now he's like, I don't know. I feel like he thinks he needs permission to follow me. So yeah. So we're the plan for today, aside from me just like blabbing, is for Callie and Emily to join, and we're gonna talk about our feelings from Rings of Power. So myself, Emily, and Callie, we all were at the NYC screening last week. It feels like a lifetime and also not that long ago. Time is weird, and also being around people is weird. I don't know if anybody else feels that way after the pandemic. But, so the first time I watched it, you know, it was really just, how do I want to say it? I mean, there was so much energy and, like, buzz in the room that I really just, like, let it wash over me. You know what I mean? I was, like, excited and really pumped for it, but yeah, I wasn't, like, taking notes or anything. But yesterday, so I recently ordered these. I had to, so these were limited edition notebooks. I also have a little tiny Earthank one, and my Shire one is way over there. But I ordered these. These were special edition Moleskine notebooks. I forgot the word notebook for a second. And they're really cool. This one's the full-size one, and it's, hello, Weirdos for Life 44. How's it going? I was just talking about my notebook because I decided that because it has the Doors of Moria on it, that it was really appropriate for my Rings of Power notes. Don't look at my handwriting, it's gross. But what I love about these is that they also have, like, draft maps on the inside cover. You can see this one's the back. You know, you can see the topography that Tolkien was obviously working on. It says contour map of Misty Mountains around Mirrormere. So it's the other side of the Misty Mountains. So I had to order these. These were put out several years ago. I had no idea, but my cousin bought me the Shire one, and so that is what I've been using to write my podcast notes. And so and my handwriting is even smaller because that one, in comparison, like, these are the size differences. Hey, Callie.
Hi. I got my rainbow helm today, so now I just look like this.
Oh my god. That's amazing.
Look at this thing.
That's great. Can you see?
Yes, I can see.
Cool.
My eyes are here.
Love it. Love it. That's amazing.
Yeah, now I just look like this, so everybody can just deal with it.
They absolutely they can. Absolutely. Hey, where is it? Hold on. Emily, I see you're attempting to join.
Hi everybody, you got a lot of people in here.
Working. Do I? I was just talking to the ether.
I can hear a voice.
Yeah, I hear Emily, but it says like the video thing is like loading.
Could be.
Oh. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. It doesn't want you to show your face, I guess. Don't ask me, because it's the first time I've ever
try again.
Okay.
It's a long weekend for us.
I know, I'm so glad. So glad. Hey, lady!
Hello. I don't know why that happened.
I don't know. Technology is technology, I guess. Yeah, I was just talking about my notebooks that I ordered from Amazon Japan because so I have let me just go get my Shire one because I feel like I need it at all times.
Hi, Emily. I received a gift today, so I'm wearing it.
Okay, so here's the story all about how. No, I'm just kidding. I was about to do Fresh Prince, but I won't. So this is my Shire notebook. It's really tiny that my cousin gave me a few years ago, and I didn't touch it. I was like, I'm not gonna. It's too pretty. I can't. And they come with these.
Yeah.
Little, it has like a timeline of the events of Lord of the Rings. Yes, Dawn, that is exactly right. Yes. So I got this, and it's got little sketch maps on the inside, which are cool. And this is what I've been using like exclusively for my podcast. But that also means that my notes are like.
I should go get my notebook.
But so I thought. So then I was like, what'd you say? Emily, what'd you say?
I'm notorious for not writing, and I get a bunch of journals and notebooks and stuff, and I never use them. Like,
I know, especially
I don't write in them.
It's hard. It's hard. I feel like I'm like tarnished.
I know.
Somehow. But for this one, so I bought this one, and I didn't really have any, designs for it, but I decided to start using it for Rings of Power notes, because I felt like it went with it goes. It
Definitely
goes.
Yeah.
It goes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, there's so many pictures.
I know. Oh my gosh. Okay, my LSR, love you. Dawn is in here, but Pete is in here, so it's a real party.
Serious.
Now. It's a party. Oh, I'll keep this open. So what we're actually here to do is to talk about Rings of Power. So here's the setup, right? Is that we were all there at, Don was there, he knows, and Pete was there, he knows. This is lady time, though. So we were there for the NYC screening. I guess we're not allowed to say it's a premiere, but the cast was there. It felt cool. I felt fancy. And so at that point,
Yeah.
I was really
Yeah.
just in it, you know? Like, I wasn't thinking about, I was just letting it wash over me and enjoying myself, you know? And so then last night, I really took the time.
Cinematic.
Huh? What was that, Emily?
Yeah.
Mine cut out.
Oh, am I like delayed somehow?
I think so.
Or like half of your
I wonder if there's
sentences
something wrong with
cut
my
off.
because it sounds like I'm delayed.
Well, now you're here.
Okay. I'll figure it out.
Okay. It's cool. It's cool. So.
Is it still delayed?
No, I hear you
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
So I guess the idea today is that we have had some time to like process. We've, you know, let it sink in, and then we rewatched it last night, I'm assuming. I know I did.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure we all did. So, how are we feeling now? Is it different than when we first watched it last week? What are some things that stood out to you this time that maybe didn't last time?
So, like when we were watching it for the premiere, I was just there to enjoy everything, to enjoy the evening, not to take apart the show, just to enjoy the whole experience as a whole. So, you know, I came away from it like just really happy, almost having watched it as someone who does not know any of the lore. Like for me, everything about the whole experience was overwhelming.
Yeah.
So that's sort of, I was just kind of walked away like wowed by everything. Just remembering my feelings, because some of those moments that happen, is we can say what are we spoiling?
Yeah.
Okay. So like on the
sorry,
boat,
but spoiler alert, we watched the show and we're going to talk about it. If
so
that's
like,
not what you want to hear about, then feel free to scroll and skip out.
So I came away with the feeling of the moments, like the boat, and that kind of thing. And then when I watched it yesterday, especially after being on a lot of discussions like this, where people are like criticizing it from the lore aspect, I found myself like taking a bunch of notes, like,
Yep.
and they were getting critical, and at some point I just stopped and I was like, why am I doing this to myself? Like, yeah,
Totally.
there are some things like from the lore, point of view that we could start getting really nitpicky with, but honestly, overall, I'm just gonna go out there and say that I love it as a TV show. There are changes they made, but I see that why they made the changes they made from other watchers' points of view, and I with that in mind, I just like put it away and I just started watching it again with wonder, and it was great.
Yeah, I get that. And you know, it's interesting because I'm going to compare it to Game of Thrones, because if you've listened to Tolkien with Friends, aka my podcast, aka link in bio, aka go listen to it. If you've listened to that at all, you know that my best friend Anna is usually on there, and she's comparing everything kind of to Game of Thrones. Like, Game of Thrones is her jam, Lord of the Rings is my jam. And when I was watching Game of Thrones, for example, I didn't really, I didn't really know anything, which is different than how I'm coming at this one, because I do know certain things, but at the same time, I don't consume, thanks, Dawn, I don't consume television the same way that I do books, especially not the same way when I can think about the Silmarillion or the appendices of Lord of the Rings. Like, that is when I'm just, like, hungry for more, you know, Tolkien exact shit. But with TV, it's got a whole different way that I look at it. And so when I was first watching Game of Thrones, the idea was like, is it compelling? Is it something that I can see myself sitting down and watching every week? And the answer for a long time was yes. And so I feel like for this, I'm kind of trying to judge it the same way, because and it's also hard. Like, I understand that there's a lot of like thinking about Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, which is a different story, but some of the same characters. But I think like so people are doing that comparison automatically, like you can't help it. And there are some like wink wink nudge nudges to it in the show, which my husband was very like clear about pointing out. I'm trying to find one where it's like where he was saying like when the elf, I can't remember his name, I think it was a TH name, the elf that is with Galadriel, when they're looking for like a Autumnal wherever they are.
I think it's like Thondir or something like that.
Yes. Yeah. Well, he says it would be wise to camp here. Josh immediately turns to me and goes, "It would be wise, Gandalf." And I'm like, "Oh my god." Like, it's like a super subtle, yes, Gigwit. It was a super, I mean, it's just, Gigwit. Yeah. But I feel like you can't say that without it. I mean, if you've watched the movies as much as I believe we have, it's hard to not hear it, you know what I mean? And there was the same thing, but when Elrond to Galadriel's like, but you just got here, it's very Frodo to Gandalf, but you've only just arrived, you know, when Gandalf is like, I gotta peace out. So there's little things like that, so it's not like they're totally divorced, but I do think that they are essentially very different animals, and especially when you're thinking about just medium, you know, movie to TV, like we have so much. I mean, I'm excited for this part, like you know, that what was I gonna say, that you know, the movies, we have 3 of them, we had essentially 3 years with them as far as like release dates, you know, and then, you know, the DVDs and the extras kind of kept it going for a while, but for this we've got 5 seasons to look forward to. So even if it's, and I don't expect this show to be like everyone's cup of tea, but I do think it should be like a lot of people's cup of tea, personally.
Yeah, if you're into fantasy.
Yeah.
Like my mother-in-law couldn't give a toss about any of it, and so I'm there trying to like explain things to her, and she's asking questions to be polite, but the eyes glaze over, and you can like, and you're like, it's okay, like, you don't have to ask these questions. We don't have to talk about it, you know.
Yeah. Oh, did we lose Emily again?
Yeah, I think she'll come back.
Dang. All right. Well, Emily will be back, and then we'll get to hear all of her thoughts. Yes, I think that's a great point about seeing Khazad-dûm. I also love Disa. I think she's a really cool character, something that we haven't really seen before. And I don't know. I'm excited to see like the relation. So they're really setting the stage here. But they're starting to dive into. I mean, they really started to pick things up by the time, you know, you get to episode 2. Oh my gosh, Dawn, thank you for. You're really like holding it down in the comments. Yes, you could tap the screen if you like, if you're into.
Thanks for supporting, Dawn.
Yeah, that's so sweet.
It's Callie under here.
Yeah. It's like you do know her. Yeah, and that's another point about the music. I thought that was really great, because for me, that's another thing, like Howard Shore, what he did with Lord of the Rings was so iconic, and I was already a big Bear McCreary fan before, you know, he was even announced to be on the show. So I was really excited to hear that he was going to be doing the music, because I think he nails it all the time. But seeing it paired with the visuals really helped for me personally, as far as like making it a full experience.
Yeah, they've definitely gone with the movie's habit of assigning theme music to certain characters or to certain locations, and really hitting you with that swell when the moment is just right.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with the music.
Me too.
Can't wait to see Disa singing.
I know.
To the rocks.
So many bits that they've like thrown into the trailers. I'm like, oh, we didn't even get there yet. And of course, like, I'm gonna keep watching, but I'm just so excited. I think both of us said after the premiere, like, I mean, I really could have just sat there forever, and they could have just made it like shown the whole show, and I would have been like, all right, okay, I'm fine with that. But yeah, Sarah, what is your full Sarah P? Nope.
Don't worry. Yeah.
Nope, it's Sarah. But I totally agree about seeing the character development. I think that the groundwork they're laying is really important, and I think it's going to be really helpful as we get to know these characters. I mean, there's things that even what they show about Sauron, though brief, when she is again in that fortress, and I'm pretty sure the thing that his mark is on is some kind of like anvil type thing. I mean, it literally is little hints about, and like the line about the dark sorcery of old that the orcs must have been dealing with. It's definitely all right. Go charge your phone.
Poor phone.
But
yes, what are they dealing? What were they doing down there? What is going on?
I know. I think it's definitely like, if you know kind of like what the deal is with Sauron at this point, it's a little like, you know, he's trying to figure out how to do something. He's trying to figure out how to make something. And then we also have Celebrimbor, you know, talking about how, you know, he's already kind of lamenting how he hasn't created anything amazing in the second episode. So, you know, they're starting to lay these little breadcrumbs, and I think that it's all going to keep building until we get to, you know, the big story. So, I think the biggest mysteries for me are like the Stranger and AKA Meteor Man.
There's so many theories about this genre. Like, that's everyone's favorite
yeah. Thing. Yeah, and it's like, I mean, so many people are convinced he's Gandalf.
Then the other half think it's a Balrog.
I know. Does Don want to get in here?
Don, get in here. Oh no, please, because please don't make it a Balrog.
Oh my gosh, you know, Annex is here.
Annex!
This is a party. Hello.
We all just hanging out together? Hey, everybody.
Why not? I mean, that's the vibe.
Amazing. Hi, Callie. Hello.
Hi.
Love your helmet. That is amazing.
Isn't it amazing?
Thank you. I just got
Annex, let me
today, so
I don't know what I'm doing.
We're all just winging it.
Yeah, I mean, seriously.
Was Emily having some sort of connection issue?
I think so.
Okay. By the way, yes, that is a quick tip for anybody that wants to go live. Just tap on the screen a bunch. The more you tap, the more it fills up a bar. And then if you fill up the bar, you help get to the For You page. So everybody tap on the screen.
Tap.
What's going on here?
We are just talking about, you know, after we've had some time to digest all of the things that we've been seeing.
Yeah.
Now it's a legit party.
All right. Okay. So, I have to tell you guys my hot take. I'll tell you guys my hot take on the Rings of Power.
I don't know if I can accept your hot take.
This is going to be a video later, and I need to make sure I'm not, you know, talking nonsense. So, my theory, my take right now, because everyone loves Elrond, right? Everyone's loving Robert Aramayo's Elrond, and I love Robert Aramayo.
Yes.
But I don't love Elrond, and I don't think we're supposed to.
So, you're saying Elrond is a character in the show right now?
Yes, Elrond is a character in the show. I don't love him, and I don't think we're supposed to.
Huh.
Because listen.
Yeah.
All right. So
like scolding.
So, Elrond. The first time we see Elrond is him writing a speech for Gil-galad, which is whatever. But then the way he talks to Galadriel, when she says, you know, you've become a politician, and Galadriel demands an audience with Gil-galad, the way he talks to Galadriel, and just, you know, takes that tone of like, you know, you can't do this. No, he gets serious, and all that charm just disappears. He gets serious, and he's like, no, you're breaking the king's orders, right? And then he tells her that you can speak to him after the ceremony, knowing full well what the ceremony is.
Yeah.
So he's basically just tricking her into saying, it's fine. You can have the audience after we do this thing. But he
I
knows
didn't
what
even
the thing
think
is,
of that.
He's
right?
deceptive to his friends in many ways in this show
Exactly.
so far.
And then
Yeah.
after the ceremony, when Galadriel says she's going to refuse the offer, he uses all of his charm and persuasiveness, and that charming, sort of friendly Elrond comes back to convince her to leave anyway,
Yeah.
right? So that's point one.
I
Point two is that he goes to see Durin and he says that he came to see his friend. And I don't doubt their friendship, but it's not true. He didn't go to see Durin to see his friend. He went to see Durin because Celebrimbor needed help to build a furnace.
Yeah, he
And
totally.
Elrond
but
Elrond knew that
watching
he had a
that,
way
I
in.
didn't really get the icky vibes that you were getting. I felt
But then
like he
it
was
was
like,
the
"Hey, he literally says, all I'm asking is for your ear. Like, I want you to hear what
yeah.
I'm saying." Which is true. And I feel like it's very diplomat talk the way
I
that he is. But
yeah.
thinking about Elrond as
Yeah.
they're definitely trying to frame like this is a younger Elrond, and I don't think his
Mhm.
behavior is it reminds me of young dudes, like, that you get a little taste of power and it kind of goes to your head a little bit, right? And it's like he is trying
True.
to navigate his
Yeah.
friendship and what he thinks he's supposed to do for like his job,
Mhm.
which I think bends people's
Yeah.
morality sometimes.
Also, I just
Exactly.
want to
So
real
here's
quick point out there are 85 people here. So, hi everybody that just joined.
hey.
Hi everyone.
You're so much better than
Wait, Annex, if I can make like a little bit of an analysis on what you
I
said.
see 96.
Mhm.
Oh, it's 99 now. Yeah. So, I think and this is a little bit of a spoiler, so if you have not watched Rings of Power,
Oh yeah, spoiled the
don't
whole
you
thing. Sorry.
literally have to
literally
watch
go
that.
away. But tiniest bit of spoilers. I think we are going to see a reversal of the two characters with Elrond and Galadriel, because you're seeing Elrond as the politician and like the
Mhm.
stately, the presenting himself as kind of and Galadriel is this hot-headed warrior. We've seen the prologue of the Fellowship of the Ring. We know that Elrond is there in the battle, and I think we're going to see Robert Arameo's Elrond kind of transition into that, like, okay, time to put politics aside and pick up the sword, and then Galadriel kind of be a little bit more like time to put down the hot-headedness and be the politician. That's just my
that's
take.
an interesting point, especially thinking about I really want us to get to a point where we see, how Galadriel in actual Lord of the Rings has her moment with the ring, and she literally says, like, I've thought about this for a really long fucking time, what I would do if I had the ring. And so I kind of am interested to see how they take those lines and use that for her character. Emily?
Yeah.
Were you gonna?
I feel like you're trying to
How
say.
else would she know that would be
That it would be bad?
Is it not?
I feel like
Is it still not working?
How would she know if it would be bad to take the ring? Is that what you're saying? Like previously?
Yeah, like how else would she know how bad it would be if she hadn't like experienced this like darkness within herself?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking is
Yeah.
that like she's gonna have like a moment where she's trying to do the right thing, where it kind of gets shitty, and then she's gonna have a flip. And I think Don, I think you're really onto something there with like the way that their roles might change as we go through this 5 seasons. Or
I
maybe
think
less.
it might go a step further.
Oh.
Because if we see Elrond as like the politician who is having to make some bad moral choices to get stuff to happen, right? But Elrond in the books, in like Fellowship of the Ring, is like described as this sort of warm sunshine, and everyone comes to him for advice, and he's this wonderful person who doesn't need to use politics to convince people to do stuff. So we're gonna see Elrond having the realization that sort of politics and like sort of like convincing his friends to do stuff through his like sort of charming words isn't necessary. He just needs to be a ray of sunshine. But I think we all missed the comment that Anna said that I never realized that Halbrand is Theo's father.
Oh.
Wait,
Some sort
what?
of that. But imagine
Because
if Halbrand is
is
Theo's
from the
father and he
south.
ran away.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What do you think?
Yeah. I do.
Oh, I like
That would be okay. So,
Ooh,
I
I
like
can't.
that.
Huh.
Interesting.
Do you think that's gonna cause? Do you think that's gonna be weird? If that's true, so do you think that it's gonna be weird when I'm assuming they're setting him up to eventually show up at the Southlands again.
Yeah, he
Right.
and
Because
Elliot are gonna
he
have.
did say he was from the Southlands. Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
because I think it's the Theo's blood specifically made that sword grow. Spoilers, by the way. Spoilers
Yeah.
for the entirety of Rings of
Well, it's
Power
like-
so far.
spoilers.
Because
It like grabs
he,
towards
So, like,
drawn to it.
Oh,
yeah,
some people's internet
And-
cut out. Can we repeat the theory of? Okay, so it's Hall. Okay, so you're saying that Halbrand is Theo's dad?
mhm,
yeah,
Yeah.
Bronwyn's ex.
Yeah.
is Bronwyn's husband or ex or something like that.
Oh
And
my
Oh,
God.
there's
definitely
some
X.
history.
Definitely
Yeah.
X.
Definitely.
That's
yeah.
that's
There's
not
a-
husband. That's not husband material. Let's be honest.
No, relax. That's fair. That's fair.
Ex something.
And
Baby
also,
daddy.
it's Theo's blood specifically that made the sword grow. Because did I miss it, or was there somewhere where like the other guy reached for the sword and sort of Theo pulled it and it cut the other guy, didn't it?
I mean,
Mhm.
I don't
His
remember.
friend.
Kind of sliced
It
him.
cut,
there.
maybe
Nicked
it kind
him.
of sliced him, right? And that didn't make the sword grow.
Mm.
Oh boy.
So it's
Yeah.
Theo's blood specifically, which means that there's something in Halbrand's blood as well. Halbrand
Yeah.
is something.
Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you think?
How many times
That's-
am I gonna have
that's-
to rewatch the show in the next week?
A lot.
Probably.
Yeah. hmm
Oh, also, I see
That's
people
crazy.
in the comments asking, "Was the stranger Gandalf?" We don't know who the stranger is, but I'm
My
curious to get
husband
all of your theories.
Is fully believing that he's like, yeah, it's Gandalf. Like, I can't tell
Yeah.
him anything else. He's like fully
Yeah.
on the Gandalf train, and I'm like maybe I'm just fully on the like I'm ready to wait it out. Like, I don't want to, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's a Balrog.
I'm here for the
No,
I
middle.
don't like that
Nope.
theory, Annex.
Don, I don't know if I told you, but I think the stranger is a Balrog.
Hate it.
We all made that face too. We were
Okay.
like, what? Back up a second.
I heard it from Sean in London, and I can't stop thinking about it.
How?
Oh my, because Maya can shapeshift.
Maya can shake
No,
it.
Maya can shapeshift.
We know
Okay,
it's a
okay.
Maiar.
But you know, we don't know it's a Maya, but we do know Maya can shapeshift. However, hang on, because this is great because I had my notes open. Also, I have to get off in a few minutes. I'm off my lunch break. 4:30
Understood.
lunch break. What is life anyway?
Yeah.
So I watched this with subtitles this time,
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
which was a
great.
vastly
Mhm.
different experience.
that was-
Yeah.
So
Did you actually know what he's saying?
Yeah, he says.
oh shoot, where is it?
Which line is it? It's with the
He
stranger.
says.
Mana Ure, MANA,
Very end.
Oh yeah. I wrote that down
So
too.
Mana
is
Mana.
an Elvish word for what, or like questioning, like a whom or what, and Ure means heat or flame. So
Ure means heat.
or flame.
Yeah. I mean,
Bye guys. See you later.
Oh, on that note,
it's a Balrog. It's a Balrog, guys. Which means the Harfords may not do so well in the show.
no.
What?
No. Stop
We are
it.
not. No supporting. No. And
No.
I'm gonna kick you out. This is
Yeah.
unacceptable.
Oh, I feel like Jack. I came in and wrecking everything.
Oh,
My
no.
God.
Negative, and it hurts
Yeah.
me.
Let's take this a step further. The stranger is the
I've been
Balrog.
co-opted.
The stranger is Durin's Bane. He gets trapped under Moria in the end of the show, or at some point in the show, and then wakes up in the Fellowship.
Oh my god.
I broke Sean.
Wait a minute. I just thought of something that
I-
makes me less
this
sad.
is
Less sad.
Yeah.
Yes, Caitlin. Protect the Harfoots at all costs. That is accurate. This is yes.
Gandalf says
Caitlin's got
The
my back.
wielder of the flame of Arnor. So maybe the heat, the Ure that he is saying, maybe the stranger is Gandalf because he's about.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm grasping at
Yeah,
straws here when I had my
Yeah.
mind blown
It's
just
wait and
now.
see. It's a wait and see.
yeah.
Alex
Balrogs
is
are
just
fully sentient, and they can,
They
you know,
are.
they're
I mean,
Maya,
they
so
do
they can take form.
magic. They do
Yeah,
spells and stuff.
and also the fact that he
And
used
he
the
doesn't
fireflies to
know
like
how
do
to
the
talk.
thing, but then he killed them. The fireflies died when he used them.
But I feel like that
Gandalf
was
did.
an oops.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't oops, but like Gandalf doesn't use moths and kill the moth.
but
Yeah, but then he's like, I feel like if it's Gandalf, I'm not totally sold that it is, but if it is, I feel like he's like not used. He's like, what is this body I'm in at the version that we have right now? He's like, I don't know how to talk. He's like a mimicking and stuff like that.
Yeah, a Balrog taking a human
Yeah.
form. Khan doesn't know how to use the body.
I refuse. Refuse to like,
Yeah.
support this.
Now,
Anna.
don't get me wrong, it's breaking all the lore and canon. It's breaking every second age lore, but like, wouldn't it be kind of
Yeah.
cool?
But here's the
It'd be
rule,
funny.
though. Here's the rule, though, for me at least.
Yeah.
If it's awesome, we let it slide.
Yeah.
I mean,
We
a
do
that
sequence
all
of
the
a
time.
stranger turning into the
Mhm.
Balrog. And
I don't
that
know.
roar that we see of the Balrog is at the end of the transformation.
I don't know. I'm gonna put a pin in that.
But like, do you not
Ooh.
want to see the armies
don't
of
have
Lindon
any
fighting a
feelings.
Balrog?
Say again?
Do you not want to see the armies of Lindon and the dwarves of Khazad-dûm fighting a Balrog? Come on. Come on.
we
I'm
do.
conflicted.
Yeah.
I do have to wrap up. I apologize. My lunch break is ending, but it was so lovely to
Thanks
see
for
all of you
hopping
again.
in.
Thank you for being here. If you don't already, because if you're here because of me, hi. But please go follow all of these people because, like, I am one of many Tolkien enthusiasts on this app. So please spread the love.
Thank you, Don.
In a bit, Don.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Don.
you.
I don't know how to
Gotcha.
get out of here. I'm so sorry.
Good luck.
Okay, I'm gonna press some buttons. If I do disappear eventually, just pay me
Andy,
no
just kick
mind.
him. Just kick
You
Don.
got it.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Okay.
Click them all.
Alright, so the Balrog is
There's like a-
the stranger is a Balrog. Halbrand is Theo's father.
And the way you're taking over everything with that, I cannot.
It's the best theory, and I love it. I don't know why you don't all love it.
Okay, but I
No, I
definitely
love
see
it.
Fun.
from Emily. Emily, I want all of your thoughts because we didn't really get to talk about it post.
All of my. Am I still lagging behind? Like, can you still? Am I like echoing or lagging at all?
Well, now I can hear you.
Only when
I
you
think
try
it's
to
lagging though. It's getting stuck.
Yeah, that's so
When
weird.
I talk, great.
Internet, play nice today.
I can hear my audio after
getting
I say it.
So, well, because does anyone have on hand a description of the Balrogs from Tolkien's? Because a lot of people are commenting on human Balrogs, and I think we kind of, I think they were a little bit more humanoidish in some versions.
Right. In Fellowship, he's not really
Alright.
described.
I'm looking it up.
Excellent.
The Balrogs.
The
The
gateway.
Balrogs in the first stage, the Balrogs in before the first stage, took the form of the Balrogs, right? All the Maya of Fire took the form of Balrogs, except Aryan. So like,
Yeah.
they're kind of stuck in that form.
Yeah.
So it's breaking all the canon for the stranger to be a Balrog, but like, it's kind of cool. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does it say?
I would like it. I would like it
description?
more than a stranger being Gandalf.
I hear you. I feel like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I can see them wanting to toss Gandalf in there, but and I've seen a lot of people say they're not sold on the Harfoots yet, but I totally am. So I'm not.
I love the
gonna
Harfoots.
entertain that.
I love them.
I'm 100% in.
Yeah. Yeah. My
Nori just like.
Nori and Poppy. The first time I
Nori
felt
is-
like I was in Middle Earth.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, when their entrance scene where they pop out of the
Like a-
grass.
Mm-hmm.
love it. I mean, you could really
Yes.
see how they kind of got there, and you know, it makes sense as far as like thinking through what a hobbit could have been like thousands of years ago, and I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
How do you guys feel? I
No,
think
it
the
makes
weakest
total sense.
character. I think the weakest character right now is Gil-galad.
I
He's
get
the one I
that.
feel least connected to, I think.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
for me, I was definitely focused on like I was just so surprised by how much I loved Arondir and Bronwyn's storyline that is where, you know, like I was really kind of like, whoa. And I thought being in Khazad-dûm was fantastic. And then the Harfoots, I feel like, you know, I really want to see where Galadriel's story is going. I think she's going to be part of the thing that like weaves all these together. But yeah, I'm not totally sold on like I mean, I'm here for it, but I'm not really thinking too much about like our guy elves like Gil-galad and Elrond and Celebrimbor. Like I just want to see where it goes, but I'm not super like invested, if that makes sense, in the way that I am with the other storylines.
Yeah, I think Arondir feels like the most elvish elf in the show so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, he feels the most elvish.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. Yeah. Because Gil-galad like has the long hair and everything, but Arondir is like
I think
sort of
it's just
whole thing.
Sorry.
Emily,
My
you saying
audio
something?
is like messing people.
Man. Why
Maybe
is
if you
it
leave and join again?
Oh, we've done that a few times.
I
know,
try.
It's so weird because sometimes everything I mean, it's like I don't know anything about technology, so I just expect it to work. And when it doesn't, I'm like, hey, cat lovers for Juan, we love you. Oh, did you guys see the Luthien and Juan statue?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Can someone I'm just really just not looking in the right place, apparently.
It's when, so there's a part where Galadriel and Elrond, we know that they're in that little grove area. She's clearly hanging out in front of the Finrod version, but as they're talking, they kind of take 2 seconds to look at a couple of the other ones. And I didn't write down the timestamp, Jeff. Sorry. But it's in the first episode. It's showing all of the different it's not showing all of them. It only shows like a couple other statues, but briefly there's a woman, and if you glance slightly down, she's got a dog like at her waist height.
Okay.
It's definitely, I mean, it doesn't say Luthien on it or anything, but it's her. It's her.
Yeah. It's Luthien. Luthien and Huan, best boys.
Jeff,
it could be
your dog.
Yeah, which Jeff, could you enlighten us on all the other dogs in the Silmarillion, please? I think I'm forgetting some stuff.
All of the other dogs note.
Okay, do I sound better now? Okay.
Did you do something different, or did it just start working?
I don't know. I actually I closed all the way out of TikTok and sorry, because I already tried with my Wi-Fi like on and off and resetting it and everything didn't work. So fingers crossed.
Nice. So Emily, let's test this. That your thing is working. Give me your, you know, you've had time to digest it. You've been able to watch it at least one more time. How are you feeling now?
There were a lot of things that I didn't catch watching it, you know, the first time. It was kind of crazy though. There was a couple of scenes that like, you know, all the scenes we saw in London were in those first 2 episodes, and then I saw it in the theater. So at this point, I've already seen 3 times, which was like kind of
that's great.
But there was definitely a little bit more things that I was like more critical about watching this time. But I was watching it with my friend Megan. She's Fangirl Meeks.
Yeah, I love her. Hazel Hero.
And so I was just more like paying attention to her reactions to things, which was really fun.
Yeah,
so I
wasn't
the
like same.
Taking notes.
Like when I was watching Josh, I was like,
yeah. And there was like a couple of things that she didn't like when Celebrimbor comes up and he's like the hammer of Feanor, and she was like, who is Who is that? I was like, I have to explain everything. There's a
I'm
lot
really
of like,
interested to see, because they're doing a lot of these drop-in names and little hints. I'm interested to see how they take the Feanor thing and like make it pay off for a person that doesn't really know who that is. You know,
Yeah.
because I think that there are going to be moments like that are probably
Yeah.
just for hardcore nerds, but then you know, for like people that are just like, I'll give it a shot. I hope that they
Yeah.
like use that later.
Yeah. I think they still tell good enough of a story that you don't have to have any kind of backstory to it, but I definitely noticed more of like foreshadowing
Yes.
stuff this time, and like paid more attention to some of the dialogue, like what you were talking about, like similarities between Peter Jackson or just like other things that I felt sounded like there were so many lines of dialogue where I was like, I can't believe Tolkien didn't write this himself. Like some of it was a little, but a lot of it I felt like was really, really solid. Yeah, I love Nori. Surprised me like way. I love her way more than I thought I would, and I think it's because I totally relate to her. Like the moment when they have the stranger and they've brought him to, and they've made him a little shelter, and Poppy is like, why are you trying to protect him? Like, I don't understand. And she's like, I feel like he was meant to land here. I feel like this is something I'm meant to do. And I relate to her so much. Her theme is like, it reminds, I said this in my video, but like when I first saw The Force Awakens, hearing Rey's theme and seeing Rey for the first time, gosh, like something in it is very relatable to me. So I'm very invested in her and like the Harfoots more so than like I've always been like an elf girl. Like the elves are my favorite race. They're like all my favorite characters are mostly elves besides Aragorn. So I was not expecting, like the Hobbits have never been my fave. I see
so interesting
for what they are, but I've never been a huge fan of any of the Hobbits. Like they're not my go-tos.
Sure.
So expecting to like love the Harfoot storyline as much as I do, but I definitely found that like during some of the elf storylines, I was like, okay, wanting to get back to the Harfoots. But I guess we'll see. I don't know. I feel like the elf scenes were not as strong in these first two episodes, but like I love the episodes, but I don't feel like they're going to be my favorite of the season. Like I can just tell that I'm going to like other episodes way more.
And it's also, actually, now that you say that, it makes me think of how the elves, I think also to kind of show the difference between their lifespans and everyone else in Middle Earth, I mean, with some caveat, I feel like they're going to be the ones that change the most or like have the most growth while others may stay the same. And I think that will kind of show how it's a little bit of a play on the time, you know, like, and we'll get to see them really change. But I feel like, you know, Eleanor, I mean, I see that she's going to be this, you know, dookish girly our whole time, you know, and I feel like Bronwyn is probably going to continue to be, I think she's going to be a strong character, but I don't, you know, I mean, I can't even predict how her character is going to grow or change. But I feel like with things like Ar-Pharazôn, who we know is going to be not a great guy, whenever he eventually shows up, I feel like he's going to be similar. Like, he's just, you know who he is. Like, he is who he is. And he may, like, change slightly, but I think it might be more, like, out of a manipulative place than actual change. So yeah, that's just an initial thought based on what you were saying.
Galadriel can be this on my path. I know. I was like, she's really gonna cross country the Sundering Seas. Like she's just like, all right.
I know.
Swim home.
Like, start swimming.
But if anyone could do it, it would be Galadriel.
I mean, she certainly was gonna die trying, at least. So, I don't.
Yeah.
When I first saw that, I was like,
Yeah, like, jumping into a vast ocean with nothing but a nightgown and a knife is not appealing to me at all.
No, I just the whole time I was just thinking about how freaking cold I would have been the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I
Mm-hmm.
understand that, like, you know, they don't maybe feel things the same way that we do, but
Mordred
Sure.
probably did. I mean, imagine how many days she was like
Yes.
soaking wet filming today.
Oh,
oh my god, rough.
but
Rough
I could not
stuff.
stop.
But like speaking of the soaking wet scenes, I was really impressed by the costuming. Like
Yeah.
there were opportunities to unnecessarily sexualize her, right? Like
Yeah.
a woman in the ocean in a wet white dress. You know,
Yeah,
and
like they
everything else it would be like clingy, it would be
Yeah.
like sheer, it would, you know, and they didn't do that. Like they didn't
Yeah.
they in every scene it was billowing and it was like it wasn't sexualized at all.
Right.
Right.
And same with Bronwyn. Everyone was wearing lots of layers, but her main dress kind of comes down. But instead of leaving it like that, they have her wearing like you know, like something below
like-
it so that there's like more modesty, which I really thought was interesting. Like they didn't do that to any of the women.
Right.
Yeah, it's a great point.
Oh yeah. If it was any other show, like, you know, Halbrand would have pulled her out of the water and like made some sort of comment or kind of like looked her up, like Pirates of the Caribbean, or I don't know. I can think of a dozen movies or TV would have gone that direction. And even though it's like clinging to her, you don't ever like see anything.
Yeah.
It's never.
It doesn't.
Yeah. Kind of refreshing. Like, oh, I don't have to notice that because it's not mentioned in the media.
Yeah. So cool. Also, okay, so going back a little bit to Theo and Bronwyn, does anybody else kind of thinking about, so he gets this sword, right? And I'm like, why is it just like in a barn?
Yeah, that is a little suspicious.
Like
so even if it is Sauron, I know who he. You know, they never actually showed who that barn belonged to.
But it was somebody that they want to get caught by, kind of like what's the farmer maggot, that kind of situation where they don't want to get. Yeah,
but it's like, how did he end up with it?
Show it. Unclear.
Yeah, very weird. It's interesting. I hope that we get a little bit of eventually. I want to know how that sword ended up anywhere, because it obviously belonged to Sauron. I mean, they're putting that Sauron symbol that they made up everywhere. So
same with the music too. Like anytime anything remotely sinister happens, it's like Sauron's theme.
Yeah,
Sauron's theme, right?
Also, I mean, we didn't really talk about what? Sorry, I'm just jumping all over the place.
Sentence, and then I think it's delaying the audio again.
TikTok, get it together, TikTok. Did anybody else? This is just a random thought. Here's how I write my notes. When baby Galadriel says it's not going to float, it's going to sail, I was like, Hermione, young Emma Watson, anybody? Like, it gave me like the you know, it's not Wingardium Leviosa. Like it gave me that vibe, like really hard, and I thought she was adorable.
It's cute.
Yeah, super cute. Callie, did you I know we talked about counting the kids that were with her. I feel like I saw 6.
I saw 6.
Yeah.
I don't know what, I forget what we were.
Oh my gosh, Fine knew better.
I
don't know what I'm doing. You gotta give me a break.
Knock on the door.
Yeah,
I'm out here waiting in the wings, man. What's up?
Sorry, I don't know what I'm doing.
I saw somebody on the redheaded kid, and apparently they zoom in on him when she says like, not all is evil in the beginning or something. So I'm like, are we thinking it's like Mydros? Like
it's Mydros or Magua? They were the redheaded ones.
Yeah,
the redheaded ones.
I was like, ooh, that's something else that I did not pick up on until somebody
And then
else
I was like, the girl, is that Arathel?
mm,
The cousins were close like siblings.
yeah.
Oh shit.
I mean, I could totally see the sons of Fëanor like meanly, in-spirited, her fun little toy. Like that's totally what they would do.
I know. And Pete was talking about how he's like, I feel like this is a reference to the kinslaying, but all I was thinking about, like, I'm like, she just likes swan boats. I was like,
It was
okay.
building a toy. They were just like being kids, like being mean-spirited about it.
Yeah. I was like, that's awful. But kids are like that.
Mm-hmm.
Even the Elvish ones.
Callie, what the fuck is going on?
You don't love her helm?
I just seen it. I didn't know what it was. I didn't really. Oh, okay. I just saw the side of something and I was like, what is happening?
Callie, let's remind everybody where you got that.
I just got it like half an hour before this live, so I still have to do a video about it and stuff. But a friend mutual on here, Finn's Forge, printed this helm for me. It's amazing. I have a sword too. I still have to assemble it. And I have a pretty little file. Look at this.
Nice.
So cool.
That's awesome. So you guys been up here talking without me?
I'm sorry.
We're having girl talk about it.
Yeah, you know what's one thing that I was thinking about is where did my note go? Oh, also, we only see like the ants for 5 fucking seconds, but I need more ants.
Yeah, I need more ants.
Was it even 5 seconds? There was like a swaying, and then it was gone.
Yeah, they like held each other because they were afraid about like the meteor man doing his thing. Yeah, they keep making the men of the Southlands, and I mean men, I mean humans. They keep making references to this like whole rightful king thing. Do you guys have any thoughts on who the heck they might be talking about?
Okay, originally I was like, my first thought was like, oh, like Aragorn, like they're talking about like True King, or then I was like, that doesn't make any sense. So who else could they be talking about? And I've heard some people like, they're waiting for like their ruler because they're descendants from the men who fought with Morgoth. Like, yeah.
But it's funny because
that was not
like,
the kind
young
of
kid in the bar was also like, oh, those
hold
people.
On, I gotta,
like,
my shit's echoing. Hold on.
Oh, we've been having lots of technical difficulties.
Oh, all right. Well,
he'll rejoin.
So one of the things that I was thinking about was how the guy in the he's like the young guy who yells at Arondir in the bar. He was talking about how he's like, oh, those were people that you're watching us because of people from like forever ago. We're not them. But then at the same time, we're talking about this rightful king. So
right.
I'm like, okay, you're not them, but you're still thinking about the same guy. I don't know. It was interesting.
So it says in the end of the Silmarillion. Read the last chapter. Sauron went into the east and the south and influenced them, and they worshipped him like he was a god or a king. Remember, the timeline is getting compressed. So then when he goes off to do something else, that influence is there for them.
Who's Impact? I don't know who that is.
I think Impact is one of my 3D printer friends.
Oh.
Invite to where, though? Invite to here? Are they trying to get in here?
It speaks volumes, Callie.
Maybe. I don't know anything about TikTok. All right, buddy.
So he influences them, and it says they worshiped him like he was like a king or a god because he surrounded his abode with fire. So that's basically what they're doing, is they're using that, and I'm pretty sure they're talking about Sauron.
Yeah. So do you think the people that are currently alive in the Southlands have like, they think that the only thing that's left in their like collective memory is that there is a rightful king, but not necessarily who that was?
It's that thing where it's a mythos, and they know that their mythos is like they know they don't get along with the elves. They know Sauron and the elves had problems, and they're kind of like, well, fuck these guys. Our rightful king is Sauron. Like they hate them because the elves hate them. You can
Yeah.
see that
Yeah.
relationship. So like, it's a bunch of different groups. So it's the regular Easterlings that you know from the Third Age, and then it's the Easterlings that we know from the First Age. And like there's two groups of them. So there's Uldor and Ulfang were the bad ones, but the other ones were good. But it all happened at the same time. So literally they didn't know who was who. They just killed all of them. And the Easterlings end up winning, and they end up taking Hiflum. And the descendants of that married some of the people from Hiflum and stuff like that. And some of them stayed back in Middle Earth and all of that. And the elves never forget that. Also, then there's like the Edain, where it's the Beor, Hador, Haleth, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
also the Duodain that end up in Numenor. And then some of their descendants are people of Bree, and some of the people of Rohirrim and stuff like that are still parts of the Edain, like, but they didn't necessarily come from Numenor. They're just descendants of the Edain that never went over the Blue Mountains. So the elves deal with them, but they won't deal
Right.
with the men of the South because they're descended from the Easterlings. And that's why they hate them so much.
Yeah.
That's why there's a struggle there. You know what I'm saying? So they're like, well, Sauron influenced them. You know what I'm saying? Oh, especially in that area. So they're like, well, he's our rightful king because they worshipped him. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's like added pressure onto them. The elves are like doing it to themselves, like kind of, you know what I'm saying? The elves are like making it work for themselves by how they're treating them. Very much how in today's climate, people treat Muslims bad, thinking about terrorism when all Muslims aren't bad. But then some Muslims that are terrorists, you're like, well, I got to protect myself. Like, so it's like a vicious cycle, and they're doing that to the Easterlings.
Yeah, there's
I
definitely some commentary on racism in the show for sure, but like using elves and humans so far, and like dwarves as well, as far as like the non-trusting or whatever. I mean, obviously Durin and Elrond are chill with each other in this show, but the way the Prince Durin and the way his dad was speaking about it, you know, he's like, there can be no trust between hammer and rock, you know, like
Yeah.
they're laying it down.
Oh, well, they've just found Mithril, so they're like suspicious that somebody would come and like take this magical, you know, thing that they think they're gonna make all the money on, and it's this amazing material. Like,
Yeah.
also I agree with what there's Shadow Pilgrim said. Maybe he didn't even know that he was talking about Sauron specifically.
Right.
I think that makes total sense. Like, it's like a mythological thing at this point, you know. Like, it makes sense that the elves would hold this grudge because this happened in their lifetimes. They can remember this happening. Like, Arondir
I don't
was
think I could
stationed.
handle being an elf. I couldn't. I can't remember what I did yesterday. So,
Right.
to hold all of that.
But like the men, this is like generations and generations. So all of this stuff is like myth now. But for the elves, they're like, oh no, this happened like to me.
Yeah. Absolutely. That makes sense. Man, we know we're gonna be in Numenor next week. I assume Nori is gonna who do you think Nori is thinking of?
Well,
The you know, she figures out that the stranger is talking about stars, and she's like, oh, I know who to ask. Does she mean Sadok, Lenny Henry's character?
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
I don't know. Is there somebody else?
You might know somebody else. I don't know. Maybe he'll ask Bombadil.
He has the book with the pictogram.
Am I like sound turned off? Dude, everything is breaking.
Oh.
You just
Do you guys still hear each other?
Are we
Because I
doing a
suddenly
bomb
can't hear anybody.
cameo? Maybe.
I mean, I hear you.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you. You twitching a little bit, freezing up a little bit, but.
Are you guys still talking? Wow, my whole thing broke.
Yeah.
How about now? Nope.
Did you get a call?
Well, I broke
That's
TikTok, you
something's
guys.
happened.
So this dude,
I'm
Bodie
sitting on the floor.
I freaking.
McBoatface,
That's so
the
cute.
you're lying because you're lying
If
because
I
the
make
Elvis was
someone
pronounced
else a
incredibly
co-host,
well.
if I leave, will they still be up?
No,
We're like,
we'll have to rejoin you.
Obviously, I won't be able to hear you if you respond to that.
just maybe can I comment?
Let's see.
I thought the Elvish was well.
Yeah, dude's fronting. The dude is fronting
Yeah.
right there, making up shit. But the pronunciation was bad. The
Acting
pronunciation was
Okay,
perfect.
but if I close
Elvis is
it,
based off of
will
Welsh.
it end? I'll start it over.
All right.
Sorry, everyone. TikTok hates all of us today.
It does that.
BRB.
Let's see.
We're still here.
I'm still here. Are
Should
you?
we-
We're
still
I'm still here. It's our live now.
Okay.
I don't know how that even happened. Well, honestly, nervous but all in. I relate to that.
This is
Chicken
our
legs
live
for saying lunch. I freaking thank you to whoever sent the chicken legs.
Yeah, thank you for the chicken leg.
Literally what?
Connection. Is it
here?
okay? I see you. I look like I'm frozen.
Yeah, I can't see you.
Okay, come on.
And it's like echoing. Who is Meteor Man? We don't know. Maybe a wizard. Maybe a Balrog. We don't know.
Why am I? Is it? Hey,
Oh,
am I
I
here?
see you. Yeah, you're there. I see
Oh
you.
my god, what a disaster, TikTok. Why?
Yeah, I would love to know where Bodie McBoatface thinks that they didn't pronounce Elvish properly, because I literally met the woman who did the Elvish, and she did all of the like translations, and not translations, but like the speech. She was like this
Right, the
one who
dialect
taught
coaching?
everybody. Dialect coach. Why could that word not? I could not find that word. Yes.
That's okay.
And like, that's just not true.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You want Meteor Man to be Gandalf? No, I wouldn't be like mad about it. I guess.
Mad?
But I'm not like. I wouldn't be like.
I guess it depends on how
I'm
we
not
get
sold
there.
on it. Yeah, I'm not sold on it. I don't
Right.
hate it. Like, I wouldn't, if they did make him Gandalf, I wouldn't be like, burn it. But I'm also like, could go either way.
Team Radagast is
I'm
fair.
Team Radagast. I think Radagast is fair. Or, I mean, I'm also like, he
Yeah.
could just be like a random Astari that we've never, I mean, they made up a bunch of other characters. Why not make up another Astari? Like, who cares?
Yeah, he could just be, and it's interesting to think about. When I posed that idea to Josh, he was saying like, oh, well, maybe he's the one that like tells Gandalf about the hobbits, and that's why he likes them. Hey, there you are.
Yeah.
I'm just tossing everybody up in here.
Yo, where's Bodie McBoatison? Yo, stop lying.
I don't even see that.
Stop lying, dude. The Elvis was pronounced perfectly, and Elvis is based off of Welsh. So stop lying. Like you just getting in here lying. It wasn't the pronunciation was terrible, as if you speak Elvis or something. The Elvis was spoken perfectly. It's based off of Welsh, and Morgan Clark is Welsh. Like, cut the shit. Like, stop lying, bro. We literally spoke to them. There's a general consensus that the Elvis was spoken perfectly. Cut it out. Stop making up things. Just say you don't like it. Just say you don't like it. But don't make up a reason that doesn't make sense. Like, you think you're smarter than somebody, you're not.
Yeah.
Hey, Nick is here.
Hey, look, Daniel Jones, I'm Welsh. It was spot on. Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate that. And I'm not even Welsh, and I know that.
Daniel knows for sure. Can confirm. So
yeah,
love that.
Preach, like it's just bullshit. Like, cut the shit. Just say you don't like it. I'm cool with that. Just Leave the
Yeah,
nonsensical
Right.
explanations out
It's
of
an
it.
interesting phenomenon that people can't just say, it's not for me. They have to
It's
come
not for
up
me. That's it.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Right.
Oh, so
Crazy.
true.
Callie, stop. You look mad intimidating. Like, chill out.
He's here to battle.
I'm just wearing.
How many?
I got it. I'm just gonna wear it forever now.
Nobody
Yeah,
Oh
pronounced
no,
Galadriel.
no, it wasn't. How many ways can we pronounce Galadriel? Let me tell you something. What are you talking about, dude? Does that make any sense? Do all of us in this room right now say words all different ways? The same word, we
Yeah,
pronounce it
but we
differently.
still know it's the same.
We know it's the same word. So you talking about somebody's accent as opposed to their pronunciation of a language is completely two different things.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, Chris.
Do you
Yeah,
do realize that, right?
I like that you
I mean,
pronounced
I'm pretty
his
sure.
name Whitewood. I was thinking.
Yeah, I don't. I'm saying that shit wrong.
I'll say everything wrong.
Yeah,
I
I'm
was
pretty
thinking
sure
about
like
it
they
in the
all
car.
trilled the R's. Like, what else? What else is the issue?
And he's like,
Like,
hey,
not
no,
that
no,
many
it
people.
wasn't. Yes, yes,
They
yes, it
probably
was.
never heard anybody roll their R's that much before.
Yeah, and they're supposed to be rolled. Tolkien said this.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
what are you
listen to
talking about?
Tolkien reading it. It sounds. Hi, Sapphire.
Hi, Sapphire.
Hi, it's in British.
Ignorance, man.
Oh, so now he's just
That makes-
changing it and saying
Yeah,
that it's boring.
it's
It's not the
boring.
accent now. Now it's boring.
Now
All
it's
right,
just
buddy.
All right,
Sure.
yep.
Like, why do you gotta find things? Like,
Who
I
could
swear to God, like Twitter and the
Okay,
internet.
look. Everything he just keeps lying. So look, let me just break this down. How is it not based off Tolkien when literally it's called the Rings of Power? And the third age is called the Lord of the Rings. So if eventually it gets to the making of the Rings of Power, how the fuck is it not based off Tolkien? The in-between parts they made up is made up, but it still is based off Tolkien because we're going to see the making of the Rings of Power, the making of the Nine. We're going to see Khazad-dûm is a thing. Linden is a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like Mordor is a thing. Sauron is a thing. Galadriel is a thing. So how is it not based off Tolkien? Literally, these are all people that Tolkien created. These are all worlds Tolkien created. Like, what are you saying? Stop. They're not flying in spaceships. They're not fighting. Like, what are you talking about? They're not fighting aliens.
I
None
don't
of that
want
stuff
to
is happening.
assume anything about anybody, but I feel like Bodie
He's
McBoatface is just kind of regurgitating.
Yeah, he's just being a
He's just
troll.
nonsense.
Yeah, he
He's
doesn't.
just trolling, but it's just annoying. It's like, yo,
I know.
Yeah.
what are you talking? It's not based off Tolkien. What part is not based off Tolkien? Even the made up stuff is based off stuff Tolkien said. What are you
Right.
talking about?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Stop, yo.
Oh man, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Timelines don't
Yeah.
fit. Guess what, Bodie McBoatface? They said the timeline wasn't going to fit. Dummy. They said that. They said,
Oh,
hey,
okay.
the timeline is
Their
compressed.
bio
Just so you know this, we're telling you this right now. They say that.
Daniel,
Dumb.
I also
Look,
love
their bio.
the sea monster.
Oh yeah, the sea monster was
Their
great.
bio says science doesn't care about your beliefs or something. I don't know. This is
Yeah.
just somebody that like it doesn't
He's-
matter what
Right.
Yeah,
media
I made
it
a bunch
He
is.
just
of mods.
They're
I don't
just
know
not.
I'm kind of trolling right now. I apologize for taking over your live. Baby. I'm kind of trolling him because look, everything he keeps saying is wrong. Wrong. You did not read the other books. It does say Galadriel is a warrior. She's one of the leaders of the Noldor. You're lying.
Did somebody just? Oh, I read. They said evict Bodhi, and I saw it as evict that booty.
Both are valid.
Amazing. Amazing. Man, we have quite the group here. I'm trying to think of what we haven't really touched on. I did have a thought. Because again, I was most focused on the Arondir Bronwyn stuff, but when they went to Hordern, I don't remember how to say that village, like the village where Bronwyn grew up,
Yeah.
and it was destroyed and burning, and we obviously know that there's the orcs that have built this tunnel. But my question is, why aren't there any bodies?
I think they took them all.
Where
But
did they go?
They captured all of them. So those fighting pits that we saw in the previews,
Yeah.
That's
He
what they're
said,
gonna
"Troll
do.
away. Read Silmarillion lately." Do you want to have a contest with me, sir?
Of all people to say that to?
Make somebody make like Nick or somebody in here a mod
I feel
Yeah,
so that they
just
can
just
boot.
boot that
I'm with
guy.
the I'm with the shit though. Have I read the Silmarillion lately? I read it yesterday. I literally read it
Whoever-
yesterday
Where are you?
for the millionth time. Are you? Is this a joke?
Belmont's cooking him out or kicking him out. I
Belmont's a
think.
mod, yeah.
Oh, they're kicking him out. Oh man.
I love it. I love being a mod. Like I make all of my friends like I'm one of Annex's mods, and I just love being in there, so I can just like
I
exercise
think
my
Galadriel
power.
was called a Karen Mary Sue. Yeah,
What the hell does that even mean?
you are just showing your ignorance. You're a cornball. You're a cornball. You're real sad.
Yeah.
You're real sad. I'm sorry. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Yeah.
This is like dog whistle. Like everything he says is
Every
dog
single
whistle.
thing.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I did read the Silmarillion yesterday. Absolutely. 1000%. Ask me anything from the Silmarillion, and you're gonna put your palm in your face.
Yeah, I would love to
stupid.
know when the last time this guy read the Silmarillion.
Literally never.
Probably not yesterday.
Definitely. I definitely read it yesterday. I'm not even making that up.
You
I
are the
know you're
weakest
not.
link. Goodbye.
That's like your MO.
But yeah, Andy, to answer your question, that's what I think. I think they're taking all of those people to like either like work in mines or like the fighting pits or something like that.
Which is a lot like crazy and creepier than just killing them.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
the fact that they're organized enough to like cart them off as like slaves or gladiators or whatever, like that's
Right.
I feel like that's scarier than just like a mindless
killing
orc
them.
killing you.
That's one thing that I love that they're doing, though.
Mhm.
They're definitely showing like some more organization. They're showing a lot of like strength with the orcs. You know, I mean, I was on the edge of my seat with orc in the kitchen.
Guys,
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's kind of it's
I
like
have some
spooky.
I have some
Like,
inside
the orcs
information
are
about
scary.
that.
You do?
I have some. Yeah, I gotta share with you when we're not on the live though.
Oh my god!
I know.
I'm gonna
that
remind
part.
you.
I absolutely know exactly that storyline right there. I know exactly what happens.
Oh.
Don't
I'm
be such
texting
a
you after
tease.
this.
Yeah,
You have to.
Yeah.
I'm being serious.
Right,
I know who Adar is. I know all of that.
Oh.
I'm texting you after this.
Upsetting.
Private Zoom call.
I mean, I'm still holding to my thing of, even though we only saw a little bit of it, the more that I saw, Adar was one of the like elf warriors, because that sword that he has, it looks almost exactly like the swords that the warriors of Feanor and like while they were it's the same sword. It just looks like it's been like melted or broken or whatever. And I've been saying that since those pictures came out.
He's reacting.
I don't know.
There's so much in the previews that we haven't even seen yet.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I understand that. Like, they're gearing us up for a whole lot this season.
Yeah.
No, not Theo's sword. Adar is a different person. Sorry, I was jumping in with Shadow Pilgrim there.
Yeah. We'll probably see Adar next episode. Being that Arondir is caught.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so nervous.
Right, we know that happens.
Yeah.
There's like scenes of him being captured and tortured and fighting in a ring.
Yeah. That whole storyline, I love it already, and I know it's not gonna end well. I just, in my heart.
Oh, literally, like the second I saw them, I was like, it's gonna be sad. Like something sad's gonna happen to Theo. They're gonna make me care about him and Arondir and Bronwyn, and
I hate Theo. I feel like Theo's a little punk.
Theo is a punk.
Yeah. And his little friend, I want to punch him in his little.
Theo's a punk.
Punch him in his little face.
Oh, I guess like as a parent,
he's just a kid.
Your perspective on
I'm a parent. I got a 16 or 15-year-old kid.
No, listen.
I feel bad because Arondir was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go to this town," and she's immediately like, "Yeah, I'll go too." And I'm like, "Theo, no,
your child."
Like,
I was like, "See," but I was like, "Oh, he's a teenager. He'll be fine."
There's a stop telling me he's a kid. There's a saying in the hood that we say, 8 to 80, anybody can get it.
Oh man.
So was
But-
it again? Yeah.
I'm just thinking like the way a little boy's brain is not great between before
Yeah.
25.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna go that route, we're talking like 30 years old. Like,
Yeah.
Especially in absence of a father figure, poor thing.
yeah,
Getting
Well, he
teased
doesn't-
by the other boys.
he doesn't like his new stepdad. He's
No,
not a
he does
fan.
not.
That is one
Don't ban
commonality
Annex.
so far. Like the young elves and the young human kids, they're kind of jerks. They're kind of mean.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And now Nubet is eating pizza. It's really unfair.
I know.
I'm starving. Let's see. What else?
Real
did I
pizza,
really
Cali,
want
not that Toronto shit, whatever.
I like our pizza just fine up here.
What pizza? Oh,
In
does
Canada.
anybody have- Oh, okay. Does anybody have
No,
thoughts on
ain't no
the
pineapple on pizza.
evil-looking leaf?
No
that
pineapple
Gilgal
on
had?
pizza.
The
I think that
evil
was
Have
just
thoughts on that leaf? When we see the meteor man like fly over, and then like there's this leaf that
Yeah.
obviously looks messed
Okay.
up. That
so.
in Gilgal
That's once again, that's a misconception from the movies. The actual book says there's warriors, sorcerers, and kings, and they become like high in stature from the rings. So some of them become kings because of the rings, but they're not just kings. You understand
Right.
what I'm saying? They use they use the rings to gain wealth, power, secrets, knowledge, all that stuff. And the more they use the rings, the deeper they fall into Sauron's grasp.
You better come in with the knowledge.
Shamelessly plugging that I'm just publishing now my.
Back to the leaf.
Oh, what was that?
Say again, Emily.
Oh,
Yeah,
I was,
three are
I was trying to
Numenorian
find it. I was trying
lords,
to go
yeah.
back to your leaf.
Oh, my leaf. My leaf thoughts. Don't leave me hanging.
Yeah.
My leaf thoughts. I'm sorry.
That was terrible.
bad.
Yes.
That was terrible.
It's not
I know.
me this time.
Callie's like, woohoo!
Where's Bodie McBoatface? I haven't seen him in a while.
They
I think he
kicked him.
finally got booted.
Oh
He
man,
got booted.
I was having fun.
I know.
Too much fun. Too much
It was
fun.
too much.
Shamelessly plugging that I am right now publishing our Carlos and I's episode for episode 1 and 2.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So-
We should see a pretty Sauron in the show. We should.
Yeah. I can't wait.
And
for
it's all
that.
the gift giver.
I want that to really surprise me. That's all that I ask. I don't care how they do it. I just want it to be like surprise.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to get surprised.
Yeah, I think so.
I want Mouth of
Yeah.
Sauron Easter egg.
Yes,
Maybe.
Sapphire. We want that mouth of Sauron. Yeah, I want the mouth of Sauron backstory.
That just sounded terrible. I just want you to.
It's fine. It's fine.
I'm telling your husband.
It's herpes. Yeah. How did Sauron get herpes? That's a true story.
He definitely has it.
Oh yeah, he's been everywhere.
Yeah. He's definitely got mono herpes.
He's a busy man. Let's see. I guess we haven't really talked
Jeff.
that much about Elrond and Durin's relationship in the show.
Me and Emily talked about it.
Yeah.
But then again, me and Emily are cooler
Yeah.
than the rest of you guys. So.
Wow. It's hurtful. It's hurtful.
just coming in.
That
Just
was
coming in. Like 3 days ago, you're just praising of how amazing Andy is, and now you're telling her she's not as cool as you guys.
This
Gotta
is
bring
what
her
he
back.
does, though.
Gotta bring her.
No, I
Gotta
was
gas her up and then bring her back down. Make sure she doesn't get out of control. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm cozy.
Oh, you are very cool.
Ooh.
I'll just
That was like one day ago. I was like, Andy's the shit. What Andy?
How the times have changed. How the turntable. That's the
Callie, you're kind of quiet over there. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just taking off the
old.
I'm obsessed with my helm right now. But I'm listening. I'm here. I'm totally here.
Who's in the background? A little fly in the wall back there. All right. You got to watch you.
Yeah, I mean, going back to Andy, what you were saying, I mean, the Doran and Elrond, like, you know, their moment on the elevator, broke my heart and made me cry, right?
Yeah.
The fact that you're seeing like a very vulnerable Durin, like one that just full of, like the type of, like that moment, just like we saw from the Hobbits in the original trilogy, like that moment I feel like is the non-toxic male, like what you need, right? Because he's telling his friend, like, you left me, like, and that, like, that really hurt. The fact that you weren't around in special times of my life, like, that hurt. And then we see more and more of, like, even more so of, you know, he was called crazy for planting the tree there, that it would never grow, but of course he did it anyway because
He's a very
his best
progressive
friend gave
figure,
it to him.
and I think he catches a lot of flack from it. And then Elrond
Right.
wasn't there to kind of back him up.
Right.
You know.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how that goes between them and how they introduce, you know, Celebrimbor to the elves or the dwarves. He is an elf. You know, and how that relationship evolves through the show.
So the Arkenstone was found in Erebor by Thrain the First. So it's the Arkenstone of Thrain, but not Thorin's father Thrain, the Thrain before that Thrain.
Right.
So this is long after Khazad-dûm. They had fled Khazad-dûm and they went to Erebor, and that's when they found it.
Yeah, I feel like, you think that's Mithril in the box?
Yeah, it's absolutely Mithril.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Mystery solved.
Yeah, it's 100% Mithril in the box.
Oh yeah.
For Crisco.
Oh.
Man,
Did it
TikTok
do
does
that?
not
I actually
like parties. Emily, are you
no.
at
I
Papa?
need to go. Yeah, I do. I have to go make dinner.
Yeah, I'm getting
do
I'm almost there.
Yeah.
Josh texted me food. So it said I got banned.
Oh man, you're gonna be banned for like a day or something like that, or maybe some days.
Oh no.
What did it say?
I don't know.
How do
I
I'm
don't know.
confused.
It can happen to any of us. I'll probably get banned next.
Oh my gosh.
But how?
Weird.
Oh, you the guy.
Is it a
I don't know. You could say something and TikTok don't like it, or the guy could report it or something. I don't know.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
TikTok,
Oh, dang.
you're wild.
Oh,
It'd be all
hold
right.
on.
I got banned before.
Carlos, did you jump on in the Swolhirum's account first? In case, then you're not banned. It's just like, if it says you were banned from the room, it's just because it detects you trying to be on in two accounts.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's like you're getting hacked.
Yeah.
Callie, I like how Callie thinks she's tough now.
Look at this thing. Checking it out all over the place. It's so cool.
I know. Did you have to like send them your measure your head for this?
Yeah.
Like how does it fit?
Oh my gosh.
Totally did.
That's awesome.
Sent him like.
That's amazing. I feel like you'd fit right in on the show.
It actually fits really well.
Yeah.
Very good.
Callie
Yeah,
the
this one
Spartan.
sits better than the other one for sure.
Very good. Very good.
Cool.
All right. Well, bye, guys.
I love it so much.
I'm sick of talking about the Meteor Man.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Emily.
Thank you.
We'll talk soon.
Bye, Emily.
We'll do it again.
Whatever that heart thing is.
Bye.
Now only one hand. See ya.
Lord Bunnybone, we meet again.
Bunny Bone.
Oh, cute. I know. It's the real ones. the chat
It's
right
one of the
now.
wizards. That's it. It's one of the wizards. We've had this conversation for like 8 hours. I feel like
Yeah,
all I've been talking about is Media Man. He's one of the wizards. We don't know which one.
I know. He's very
Very mysterious so far.
Very, yeah. Does anybody know? I feel like I wrote it down. What Finrod says during that fight scene? He says Firuvante or something.
I wanted to know that too, but I think we need a translator.
I know. I do need a translator.
Oh, someone wrote
I
it
think we know that.
in our.
Somebody knows? I've been preoccupied. I haven't been able to like research anything. These are just like all of my like gut, like my first. I guess they're not my first thoughts because we saw it last week. But when
What did it say? Just tell me what it said.
So Veladon Kalanen is by the light of the Valar, and Firuvante is they will die.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
From Belmont in the chat.
Thanks, Belmont.
Nice. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Sapphire, do you want in on this? It's telling me I can invite you, so just tell me if you would like to be invited.
Come on, Sapphire. By the light of the Valar.
That's so cool.
I think.
Let's see. I was thinking about how, Lenny Henry's character Sadok is. They're laying all these things down about like signs, and he's like kind of actively ignoring them publicly, but then going back to his little notes and his book with like the runes to figure out what's going on. And he really kind of only admits it to Nori that something is up. And I feel like that's definitely on purpose. I'm interested to see. You haven't watched it yet, Sapphire?
Oops.
Oh man.
Girl, we are
sorry. Spoilers.
Spoilers. I hope you don't mind.
I know. I hope you're cool with being a little spoiled. Yeah, that's Lenny Henry. Sadok, yeah, he's cool. I'm interested to see where they take his character. I think he's fun.
I'm fine. My brain will forget.
Are you having Rings of Power overload right now, New Beta?
I'm just getting tired.
Yeah. Well, I feel like we've been talking about it for like 24 hours nonstop.
Yeah.
You're invited to like every panel, every watch party.
I know it's annoying. I mean, it's not annoying, but it's a lot.
You're just too popular.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm still mad at Callie.
For not answering you yesterday.
Yeah, she ignored me yesterday all day. I kept calling her.
Ouch.
Some friend.
I guess I was just being sleepy.
Mm-hmm.
Are you leaving, Pete? Oh, see ya. See ya.
You
Let's
out,
see.
yeah.
What time is it?
I'm about to be out too.
I know it's 5:30. I said this was only going to be an hour. But we're definitely going to do it again next week. I might actually try to do it because I know I've invited Anna Maria to do it at some point with us. And
Anna Maria!
Yeah, she's lovely. And she doesn't have 1,000 followers, so we might switch to YouTube lives. We've never done that either, so it would also be like there's going to be a bumpy road. But I just want to do that just so that we can invite folks that don't have 1,000 followers that we know, not like randos.
Me and Callie gonna get her to 1,000 followers.
Yeah.
Start that promotion. We'll get Belmont there, and we'll get Fornos there. That'll be our new.
I forgot those bums he got 1,000. I'm just joking, guys. Love you. We'll get you there.
A lot of people that need to. I mean, TikTok places these rules on people, but so we're gonna do some promotion of our lovely crew so that everybody can get in on this.
Yeah.
So are we talking about Anna Maria and Fornos 42, Nick, Pete as well, Belmont. Anna Maria, her at is only Anna Maria, right?
Yeah, only Anna Maria.
You should follow her if you don't already.
She is dope.
Lovely. So
All right,
fun.
guys. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
I think we're gonna wrap this up as well. Hey.
Hey, Keaton.
Yeah. Throwing in the cool emoji. I know. I'm like starving though.
Oh no, you should go eat then.
I know. But I really appreciated everybody's time. I really appreciate everybody that's sticking around. But we're gonna do this every week. I think it might move to Saturday's schedule pending because I will not have summer Fridays at work anymore, and therefore will not be off at a decent hour. So we might do it on Saturdays. And I put a link in my link tree for the YouTube. This is like live streams coming soon. So yeah, sad. #sad. So I think that might be the plan going forward. I think we'll do more lives like this maybe ahead of it, to let y'all know. And just, have friends hop in as needed. But yeah, hopefully to do more of these soon. I'll probably also use these to like keep you guys updated on where we are with the podcast. If you missed that, Callie and I, Callie is my podcast queen. So I started a podcast, Tolkien with Friends, earlier this year with my friend Anna. She recently had a baby. Oh my gosh, he's gonna be a month old in like 10 days. That's crazy. So she had a baby and she is momming it up, and I'm not forcing her to also squeeze in a podcast while with, trying to figure out how to mom. So Callie is our queen who is helping me out with Tolkien with Friends, and, for at least the rest of the season one being us comparing Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings to the books. It's been a really lovely ride. Only got a few more chapters to go. We have a few wrap-up episodes as well, but the way that I am with my editing, we're going to be releasing them for a couple more months at least before probably take a season break, and then we'll be back with The Hobbit. And in the meantime, we're talking about Rings of Power and squeezing it in between. So we'll be back next week to talk about the episode 3, which we will all see together for the first time. No more sneak peeks from Amazon. So yeah, I actually don't. Callie, can you direct me to how to gracefully end this? Because I don't know what I'm doing.
Thanks everyone for listening. So at the top right, top right of your screen, there's an X button.
Oh, okay. Is that that's just it?
Yep.
Okay.
Congrats on your first big live.
Thank you. That was wild.
Good job. That was amazing.
Yeah. So thank you everybody so much for joining. We're gonna go eat, and we will see you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.